Name that I see most in my comments. It's not an American, it's not a player, it's Emma Hayes. And I'm just as curious as you are what she's going to do with the U.S. Women's National Team. I think the best way to start answering that question is to analyze the Champions League semifinal games against Barcelona. This is a two-part video. I'm going to look at the first leg in this video. I'm going to analyze tactics, formation. I'm going to break down some of the design plays like this run from Lauren James, look at some of the impressive defensive performances that anchored this team, and really try and figure out what was Emma Hayes doing. My name's Bridie O'Toole, former player, current fan, and I love watching film. So let's go see what it's telling us. If you're not familiar with the Champions League format, this is a semi-final, so there's going to be one home game, one away game, and what really matters is the aggregate score from those two games. Barcelona lineup should be of interest to US fans because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players and some subs that we should expect to see playing for the Spanish national team during the Olympics. Head coach Jonathan Heraldez is also going to be joining the Washington Spirit quite shortly as their head coach. Lots of good things going on there. And then for Chelsea, American Kat Macario starts on the bench wearing the number 9. And Chelsea say that they're in a 4-4-2, but I think this is a little bit of deception from Emma Hayes because we never see them play in that formation the entire game. On the kickoff, we can see that Chelsea looked to be in a 3-5-2 formation. What we're really going to see throughout this film is that Chelsea's going to play two formations. One when they have possession of the ball, and one when they don't and they're playing defense. When they're playing defense like they're about to be here, their plan is really to pull these two wingbacks down to create a back line of 5, which is going to allow them to very much control the penalty box area. The other thing that we're going to see them do pretty soon on kickoff is they're going to compress this formation because they're looking to control a certain area of the pitch and they don't want to be spread out wide over the whole pitch. So these center backs just stepped up, wing backs coming inside. And when we look at this now, this is very compressed, especially compared to Barcelona covering all of this. And so we can see they're trying to control the midfield. They don't want passes through there. Barcelona is a very, very possession-focused team, and you cannot fight possession with possession. Both teams can't have 65% of the possession. So Chelsea's plan here is generally to be bigger, stronger, faster, play great defense, and make Barcelona beat you. The great thing about this system of having 3 center backs is it leaves you some really nice even coverage here. So we've got one covering the near post, one covering the far post, and then one right in the middle. Your wing backs can come and protect these areas. It's a very solidly defensive formation they're playing. Right? They've just got numbers in the box there. It's not the best clearance, but they're at least there. They're in the right spot. Barcelona, though, they're not going to be bothered by this. You know, they're great passers. Just continue passing the ball, making Chelsea move, testing for little weak spots, areas that they could potentially play into. Still not there. That's fine. They're just going to send it back. Be patient. And if they have to play up the wings, if that's the only area Chelsea's going to give them, that's fine. They'll make it happen. It's not their preferred plan of attack, but it was a very close opportunity only a minute into the game. Let's take a minute to talk about how Chelsea's going to play on offense. They're going to win the ball back here. Lawrence is looking to go upfield. Cuthbert then says, no, let's reset. What they're going to do here, Lawrence is going to come wide. Cuthbert's going to come down, getting set into their more offensive formation, which I'm going to call a 2-5-3. There's a lot more nuance and layer to that, but in general, they're trying to get more midfielders, create more connections. But this here is just a long ball to their fastest player, and we can see this causing problems for Barcelona, so this is going to be something they do all game. Just try and get the ball in behind them and beat them on a one-on-one. Goal kick here for Barcelona, and because Chelsea is so compact, they've been able to high press very effectively. Barcelona struggled to play out of the back. They're going to take a long kick here. And because of that, they are able to actually complete a pass in midfield for the first time. We can see exactly why Chelsea doesn't want this happening. They eat up so much distance, such a great pass in a space, and it's really an individual effort from this player right here. It makes all the difference. I want to go back and look at her decision making. doing what she needs to do over here, just defending that space until she sees that she needs to go. And I really like this. She's not running to the ball. She's not worried about these two players yet. She's just making sure she recovers as fast as possible into a good position so that she's ready for what happens next. Changes her run there. Great job. Just does enough to impact the play there. Chelsea with possession, and this is where we're going to start to see some interesting things. Lauren James, who was listed as a forward in that 4-4-2 formation, is very far back, and she's going to take the ball and run across the pitch instead of up the pitch. And the whole reason for this is to create movement within Barcelona, pulling them down to the other sideline and isolating this player. They haven't recognized it yet. Another pass here, and she's finally going to see it. Takes a deflection, but it doesn't matter because we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 players stacked up here, ready and raring to go. So they're going to stick with their strategy of getting that long ball in behind. Doesn't work that time, but you can see the potential. And then we're also going to see Lauren James come in and recover into her defensive position. And so Emma Hayes is asking a lot of certain players in this system. But if you're going to play at this level, that's to be expected. A few minutes later, and Barcelona work the ball back to their keeper. They're not looking frustrated, though. They're staying focused on maintaining possession, which means they're going to make a lot of little passes. They're going to continue to test Chelsea, try and see if they can get them to move. Chelsea, though, maintaining this perimeter very nicely. They have these two players inside, controlling the midfield, making sure those passes aren't completed, and it means outside balls and long balls are Barcelona's best option right now. But Chelsea, dominant in the box. That is such a good play. I really love how Buchanan does it because it's a few different things she's doing at once. First, she wins the space there. Next, she wins the ball there. And she clears it out. Really complete play. And these performances in the box are a difference maker for Chelsea right now. Because Chelsea stays compact, they're able to high press. It wins them that throw. Turn this one over, but again, they're very compact, which allows her to step up and win this ball back. And to beat Barcelona, maybe you got to look a bit like Barcelona. Some skill, some great passing, and a phenomenal finish. I feel like I've talked a lot recently about these hip turns, the fadeaways. She looks like she's going this way, and all of a sudden it just completely turns. It's so quick, the release, so difficult to save, and just what a fantastic Champions League goal. Coming back from halftime now, and Barcelona have gained a little bit of momentum because they had a penalty awarded that was then taken away. So they're now looking a little bit angry, maybe even a little bit frantic. So this player says, hey, let's calm it down. There's no need for this. And they start looking like Barcelona again, doing the same things they were doing earlier. Testing this midfield. Can we pass through there? No. All right, fine. Let's go around the outside. Patient, dribbling with the head up, testing the midfield. And if they have to use the wide areas, that's what they're going to do. Connect through the wide areas as needed to get back into the spaces that they want to be in. Allows them to make some passes centrally. Just like earlier, standout performances in the box. Midfielder coming in to close down the space, and just a fantastic block on the shoulder, making sure not to give away a handball there. Really nice work. One thing I really liked about the way Chelsea played was that their effort levels didn't change over time. It's late in the game here, so maybe the quality of that clearance is down, quality of some of these passes is going to be down. But the effort levels stay really high, and because of that, Chelsea continues to control the midfield. They stick to their game plan. It's the same long ball we saw earlier, going for that one-on-one. Great opportunity here. They really should have scored, but they have a lot of confidence in Emma Hayes' game plan, and they're executing it almost as equally well at 74 minutes as they were 15 minutes into the game. Chelsea have played their goalkeeper quite high up throughout this match in order to support possession. Here she is being the last passing option. And that's Kat Macario receiving that ball, but the quality's dipped off a little bit on the pass. Not the best pass in, not the best touch to control it. Good opportunity for Barcelona, recognizing the space. Nice decisive passes, seeing the options. What a great ball in. Maybe one of the first times Chelsea's starting to look a little bit penetrable in that box, and Barcelona gaining some confidence. That boost in confidence is going to cause problems for Chelsea because Barcelona has a lot of energy and motivation now. They just continue to attack, and it feels like they are throwing everything they have at getting this ball in the box. Again and again. Feels like almost 15 minutes where we see Chelsea wildly defending like this. Quality balls in, less than ideal clearance. But everybody still seems very focused on getting their job done, and it's because of that, give away the free kick here, and it's going to be Barcelona's last chance of the game. We see a little bit of deception on the setup here, trying to find the matchups they want. A great design can be so hard to get the ball on someone's foot in this situation. Does a really great job with the pop-on header to get that on Pateas's foot in space. Incredible. But those are the kind of opportunities you got to put away. They come back to haunt you in Champions League. This was a great showing for Chelsea. I think Emma Hayes had a very effective game plan and came in with a well-prepared team. I also think the squad benefited greatly from individual performances of some defenders, midfielders who showed a really high desire and drive to win this game and do whatever it took to make that happen. I'm super excited to see someone like Emma Hayes with the U.S. Women's National Team because she just showed how much plotting and planning can go into just a single game against a single opponent, and it makes me really excited to have a coach of this caliber preparing the squad for the Olympics. I'm going to do a second video on the second leg of this game. One thing I would love your help with, I'm sure there are a bunch of you that know a lot more about Chelsea than I do and have seen a lot more matches, so I'd love any input you have on how this is different to the team play normally, what things really stood out to you, and then if you do have questions about the tactics, the strategy, what changed in the second game, any of your commentary, I'd love to hear that and get as many questions as I can answered in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.